put a lot of work into a mitzvah, and then you can have a better understanding. But so it said from Rabbi ben Rambam that the more you work on a mitzvah, the more you study it, that's how much a person will appreciate when you actually do the mitzvah itself. That's what it means. When you learn about it, it brings to doing it. It gives you a whole different appreciation. Now, Pesach, Luchas Pesach, is where it really says this halacha of Shloshim Yom Kodem L'Chag. You got to start 30 days before, and you have the mitzvahs, you have the Shabbos HaGodel. The reason is because there's so many mitzvahs, there's so many halachas of Pesach, more than any other Yom Tif. And the truth is, Meheri Yibana Beis HaMikdash, you're learning now in the Minchas Chinuch on the Korban Pesach. The Korban Pesach is probably just as many halachas as this. 11 mitzvahs, I'm not exactly sure, maybe 11 mitzvahs on doing the Korban Pesach, which every single person had to do, and had to know the halachas quite well, men, women. So we don't have that today, but it's still a main part of the in Yonei Pesach. There used to be a minute to read the Asiyas Korban Pesach before Mincha. But it's definitely in to learn it, to learn all about it. I don't think we'll get to it this year, but it's on top of all the other Hilchos Pesach. There's what to do. So there are a lot of different halachas. There's a list of all off here, the different halachas of what's relevant for Pesach. But we're going to start with the chametz. We start with Hilchos Chametz, what we're not allowed to have around, what the Yisurim are, and what we're looking for when we clean up for Pesach. The actual Hilchos of B'dika we'll have to we'll get to later when we're doing B'dika's Chametz, but just for the to know what what we want to get rid of, what we want to keep, what we do with it. So the Iker Lavada Torah. There's another aspect by Pesach which you don't have all year, is Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzah. In other words, most Yisurim in the Torah are eating. You're not allowed to eat not kosher food. Sometimes you're not allowed to even have pleasure. There are Yisuri Hana or L'Klai Kerem, and there's many Yisuri Hana in the Torah. You can't have any benefit. Chametz you're not allowed to eat. Chametz is also to eat, and Chametz you're not allowed to have any benefit from it. And chametz also, besides not having benefit from it, there's a new issur, Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzah. It's not allowed to be in your possession whatsoever. It's very unique in that way that there's no real other issur that has this concept. Maybe avodah zarah you're not allowed to have around, But chametz, it's just food. And we have an issur in the Torah, it can't even be in your possession. And it's not allowed to be in possession would mean not just that I can't own it, but let's say I have achrayus on it. For example, let's say I own a storage company. And someone's storing chametz there, and I'm responsible. If something happens to it, I got to pay, or my insurance has to pay. So I'm responsible for the object. So there's a issur Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzah on me. Because something which is not only in my possession that I own it, but if it's something which is in my possession that I'm responsible for, I have a chiv achrayus on it, so that's a problem of Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzah. That's even for a non-Jew's chametz. If it's a Jew's chametz, you don't even need achrayus on it, to other reasons.
But you're saying if you had a storage house?
Yes, you should ask your local rabbi what to do if you're in such a position and you have your own storage, your storage company, and you're storing...
But isn't that technically not your... That becomes their property. It's kind of like someone rents an apartment.
Well, it depends how it's set up. Yeah, if it's rented, that you're just renting them to room and it's their headache. But if, let's say, there's a fire or something, if it's your responsibility, all the stuff inside, so you may have achrayus on it.
But you can't sell his chametz, can you?
So this is a problem. If you have chemtzei shel goy in your reshus, let's say a mashkin, it was common in those days to take a mashkin if you lent them money, so you took a collateral, and you took something of chametz, and it comes before Pesach, what do you do with it? Technically, you have to get rid of it. You have to burn it.
You're burning something that doesn't belong to you.
It doesn't belong to you, but you have a chi of Bal Yirah, you have to get rid of it. So obviously, if you have to figure out before it comes too late, and then it comes as about beer.
Burn his own money.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that's the added thing we have here with Bali Rabbi Amatz. Anything which is even in your reshus, a person would have to get rid of. Now the question is, and we get rid of it. How do we get rid of all the chametz in our reshus? We get rid of it one of three ways, and usually we try to do all of the above. The first way we get rid of it is physically. We do beer chametz. We go through the property. We try to find all the chametz and we get rid of it. The second way we get rid of it, which actually may take off the chi of beer, is we mavatal the chametz. We say kol chamir v'chamia deika b'reshusi. Right, any chametz that's in my reshus that I know that I don't know about is but kafa da'ara. So a person could just get up midaraisa. So Shal Rashi Toisvis, but halacha l'maisa, a person could just get up and doesn't have to clean for Pesach. Tell his wife she can stop worrying. All he has to do is get up and say, all chametz is null and void, finished. It's over. That's it. He's not over by your matzah. Any chametz in his reshus, he can have a nice, beautiful piece of bread in his refrigerator, freezer, and no problem. That's a piece of dirt. That's just a rock. It looks like a bread. I'm not having it. It's hefker, however you understand bittul. And he's not over the Isra by Matzah. Just Midrabanan, they were chayshish that he'll wake up, Pesach morning, and he might be a little groggy and forget that it's Pesach, and he'll be hungry and walk in and he'll just see a nice piece of bread and he'll eat it.
Something that you declare to be bittul for Pesach, can you then eat it after Pesach? Or is it bittul and it's garbage?
It's Chametz Shavuot of a Pesach. Well, yeah. If you bring it back, yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
If it's chametz, it could be Chametz Shavuot Pesach. Yeah.
You get hana from that?
Yeah. Yeah, what?
Any hana from Chametz Shavuot?
Chametz Shavuot Pesach is also not drabanan. You see, that's something else. But
so with the collateral, you can't.
No, you gotta get rid of it. Yeah, Pesach, get rid of it. Yeah. So you have problem Chametz Shavuot Pesach, but in any case, we don't want it around on Pesach. According to Rashi, it could be Daraisa, but according to Tosfos, it's only Midrabanan because I was ready Mavatal maybe. But if I see it around on Pesach, A, I might eat it, or B, I might be machshav it. I might think in myself that this is really a good piece of bread. I don't really want to get rid of it. I said what I said last night. I said kol chamia v'chamia. I meant something which might be a crumb, but this. It's worth money. I might, you might end up keeping it and be mevatel. He'll retract. He'll be machshav the chametz, and he may be open by matzah. So therefore, we get rid of all the chametz. That's the second way we get rid of it. And the third way we get rid of it is by mechiras chametz, by actually selling, which is a discussion for itself. We'll have to see. Technically, any one of these ways work, and we try to do all of them. The first two we do meikar adin, deraisa drabanan, and the third one selling the chametz. Even those that are machmir to get rid of all the chametz in the house, it's still a good idea to sell chametz. Because you never know today with so many products out there. You don't know what's really chametz, what's not chametz. You may think it's not chametz and you find out later it is chametz. It's always the best idea to just sell any chametz you have in your house. Pots and pans you don't sell. It has blias, but you don't have to sell chametz for that. Because that's we'll talk about it. The blias in the pot, you don't have to. That's bottle kafir. That's for sure. You don't have to sell.
If one does,
Charles, we sell the pots if you have to do tefillas kelim afterwards. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So we don't actually sell the pots. We sell what's in the pots. We don't really sell the other nuschos. They used to sell the pots. The question whether you have to do. Yeah, but we try to sell it even if you don't sell real chametz. Some people have a schnapps. They sell. That's not. Even those that don't sell chametz, real chametz, that you do sell. So just to give a little guidelines, what you're not allowed to have around, and what you're mechuyev to sell, what you're not mechuyev, what your chiyav bal is, the Mishnah Berurah actually gives it in some tough man base in the beginning. So the first level, heavy duty chametz is if you have a kazayis of chametz. A kazayis of chametz, piece of bread, that's Finished. That you chayiv everything. You're over achilas. If you eat it, you chayiv. If you leave it around the house, you're over by matzah. If you have a taruvos chametz, many of the products are mixtures of chametz. So if there's a kazayis, there's a concept of in Shas called the kazayis b'chdei achilas pras. In other words, you have a mixture within a shear of a pras, of eating a pras, you can eat a kazayis. A kazayis is about a pras is a machlokes is 3 bayim or 4 bayim, and a kazayis, let's say, is a half a bayim, so it's about a sixth or an eighth in the ratio of chametz and non-chametz. So if you have enough chametz mixed in there, that in the mixture there's a kazayis within a pras of amount, let's say there's one more than a sixth ratio of chametz in there. Let's say you have a cereal, let's say cornflakes or corn brown, I don't know, whatever it's made, and it has wheat in there too. So there you have a case where there's a mixture, and maybe it's 40% wheat, maybe it's 30%. So, but you have a kazayis mixed in b'chdei achilas pras. So that has a din of chametz gomer. That's mamish chametz itself, and it has all dinim of chametz midaraisa. A person eats it, he's chayiv kares, has all halachas. There's other shittas in the Rambam not like that, but mikra adin. That's how we come out that if there's enough chametz in there, that there's a kazayis within the amount you normally eat a suda, so that has considered chametz gomer, and there's no finished. Let's say you eat it, you got kares finished, you have a chiv by matzah, everything. The question comes in, let's say there's less than that. There's less than the kazayis b'chdei achilas pras. This is a big discussion in the Rambam Shita, that avada, it doesn't have a din chametz b'negei achila. If you eat it, you're not going to get kares. B'negei achila, it doesn't have a din of chametz gomer. But the question is, for bal matzah, having it around the house, is there an issur of bal matzah? Well, Maisa, it's machlokes magmisha kasmisha alon upshat in Rambam, and halacha Maisa we hold it does. Since it's a kazayis, even if it's more than a k'dei achilas pras, let's say you have a cereal, for example, which has only a minute amount of grain in it, but in the entire cereal box, maybe there's a kazayis, or maybe in the, even if it's not in the k'dei achilas pras, but in the entire amount it could be. So then we hold as a din, since there's a kazayis among the whole thing, so bal matzah is not totally in eating. If it's totally in eating, it has to be enough that you could eat in one suda, in one pras. But if it's not totally in eating, it's totally in being in the house. So since there's a kazayis mixed in there, so then you would be over by matzah, and you get malchus if you would actually buy it on Pesach. So some of these, let's say you could have I don't know, cosmetics or things. If it's royal achila, a lot of things today are very hard to judge if they're eating or not eating. Soap is obviously not royal achila. Shampoo is not royal achila. Even for achilas kelev, there's no shaila on that. Even a lot of them have the chametz gomer in there, but it's definitely not royal achila in any which way possible. But you could have a lot of products which are royal achila, even though you don't use it for eating. You could have maybe some of the blushes. You have to really check into it. That you don't eat it because it looks red and pink, whatever color it is, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not really for achila. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, this has to be verified. There are a lot of different things. You look in the different booklets put out, the different products. Everybody has their own opinion. What's called real achila, what's not called. You have to really check that out. But you can have something which is technically edible, and if there's even if there's a smaller amount of chametz in it, but if it has less than a ratio of kazayis b'chdei achilas pras, but it could be still over bal matzah on it. If there's any chametz in it, there's chametz gomer in it. A lot of them have oats in it.
So if, let's say I had a property that was like 10,000 square feet, and in that there's kazayis spread out amongst the...
Yeah, so we're going to get to this. We're going to get to that. But here I'm talking about you have something, you have a food, or you might not call it a food, but you have a product that has within it a kazayis of chametz, even if it's spread out more than you would eat it in one shot, that would have a din of bal matzah, and you would have to get rid of it.
And that's even if it's not intended for eating.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can't eat it. Just because
Well, lipstick is not for eating, but you could eat it.
You could eat it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could end up in your mouth.
Yeah.
Antifreeze.
The din of a mashahu?
The mashu chametz is like this. So let's go down less. So now let's say I have less chametz in there. Let's say there's a mashu chametz in there. So the rule is like this. A mashu chametz before Pesach is bottled. A mashu chametz is bottled before Pesach. If there's enough chametz that gives tam, that gives taste, like we have in all hilchos kashrus. If you have a piece, you're cooking your pot of food, and some not kosher ingredient falls in, so if there's enough there to give taste to the pot, it's not bottled. And you have to get rid of it. There's no kazayis in there, so if there's no kazayis in there, there's no problem of, if you eat it, you're not going to get malchus, you're not going to get chorus, but you're still not allowed to eat it. There's tam keker. Now it's a shal to rice with rabbanon, tam keker to rice with rabbanon, there's machlokes b'shainim, but if there's a taste of the food in there, you wouldn't be allowed to eat it. So you definitely can't eat it on Pesach. So the question is, if there's enough to give taste, is there a isser of bal yamatzeh on it? Well, Meiser, we get rid of it, even if it's not a asa deraisa to get rid of it, midrabanan, we get rid of it, because anything that could be around that you might eat on Pesach, there are two reasons. At the end of the day, there's two reasons to get rid of the food on Pesach. A is for deraisa, you shouldn't be over by matzah, and B, that you shouldn't come to eat it by accident. And these two things play a role. There could be a nafkamina whether it's chametz sha'avel of a Pesach, because chametz that is left over till after Pesach, if there's no isser achila on it, there's no din chametz sha'avel of a Pesach on it, you'll be allowed to eat it after Pesach. But if there's a isser, if there's a din isser bayua on it, if there's an isser bayua on it, so then it becomes chametz sha'avel of Pesach. Just Shulchan Aruch Harav. So there are certain things which, even though we get rid of on Pesach, but you would be, if it was left over accidentally over Pesach, you would be allowed to eat it after Pesach, because there was never a din bal yua bal yamatzah. We just got rid of it because we didn't want to eat it. So now what goes into this category would be, if you cooked in your chametz sticker pot food, so on Pesach you're not allowed to have that around, because we hold tam keker, and anything that has taste of chametz in it, and something halachically, any food never has, there's always less than 60 in the pot against the walls of the pot. Halachically we consider that. So if you cooked any food in a chametz sticker pot before Pesach, that food you cannot eat on Pesach. But if it's, and you get rid of it, because we don't want to eat it. But if it was left over accidentally after Pesach, it doesn't have a din of chametz sha'avel over Pesach. But if there was actual food mixed in, that enough to give a taste, that we don't need after Pesach. So shal tam kikut rice, we don't need it after Pesach either.
So I'm not sure the differentiation you're making. It sounds like the first example is you actually have cooked something.
Yeah, if let's say you put ingredients into the food, let's say a piece of bread fell into your soup and you cooked it, then even if you pulled out the bread afterwards, but since the bread was cooked into the soup and there was a taste of that cooked into the soup, so that soup is chametz, and you can't even eat it after Pesach. If you left it over on Pesach, you have to get rid of it. But if you just used a pot that was used to cook your, let's say your gefilte fish has matzah meal in it, not chametz sticker matzah meal, which is chametz gomer, and you and now you cooked your Pesach fish in it, you forgot, and then you realized, so that fish is chametz stick, and you cannot eat it on Pesach, but if you left it over till after Pesach, then you wouldn't have a halach of chametz sha'avel over Pesach. You shouldn't leave it over, you should get rid of it or sell it or something. But if you...
This is not true for the tom of kitnios, for Ashkenazim.
No, we're not
right?
talking about kitnios. Kitnios is stuff.
So if you cooked in a pot that was
kitnios you're allowed to have around on Pesach.
Right.
No, it's to have around.
And that food you cannot eat it either from the hour, you cannot eat more.
Yeah, from when you can't eat chametz, you can't eat these foods that have any amount of chametz in it. So that's the next level. Now you ask about a mashu chametz. A mashu is the last level. A mashu chametz is bottled before Pesach. Not enough to give a taste, it's bottled. But any mashu on Pesach that goes into the food, that's not bottled. So chumrah of Pesach, different reasons for the chumrah. We're not going to get into all the various reasons. Has nafkaminas, but a mashu or chametz on Pesach is not bottled. So it comes for cleaning purposes. If you're cleaning the rest of the house, there is no reason to look for any chametz. You don't have to. We'll get to what your wife does, but what you should have to do, if there's no piece of chametz on the floor, that you're going to eat, there's no problem. But when you're coming to clean your kitchen, if on the table is a mashu or chametz or something that could accidentally get into the food, a mashu or chametz is not bottled. And that's why in any place where the food is around, we're much more machmer how we clean it, because we don't want any amount of chametz, even halachic mashu, for example. If you don't kasher the kitchen properly, and there's a mashu, and you put your hot pot on there, and the mashu chametz goes into the pot, we're worried about a mashu chametz doesn't become bottle.
How do you define like the
How do you define the sign of a mashu? So
Right.
It's a famous story. It's of Chaim, right? That one of the maskilim went to the reservoir in Brisk and threw in a piece of bread. So he said, nobody keep the water. Actually, some few places have a minhag that they, some of the Hasidim have a minhag that they fill up the water before Pesach. Because before Pesach, everything is bottled. Mashu is bottled, but on Pesach it's not bottled. People go to the reservoirs, they throw in bread, and they, to feed the ducks. And the Mashu chametz, so they fill up all the water before. I think it was more of a chashash back then in Europe. Huh? Tasha, yeah.
Gotcha, right. That's why you separate the days.
Right. But Lamaisa, Chaim said even a Mashu has a share, So we're not worried about that. But in any mashu in your kitchen that we're worried about. So that's why, we cover all the areas that we're not kasher. Whatever, we'll get into how you go around to change all your kitchen.
Mashu
But that's why we're more machmer over there. But that's only on Pesach. Any mashu before Pesach that was cooked in. I know many people have a chumrah that they. It's not a good chumrah to keep. That they peel different vegetables that they eat on Pesach, or fruits, because let's say the apples, they put stuff on it. It's good chumrah to keep because all year they put not kosher fats on the wax on the apples and stuff. They clean it. So some people wash the apples, some people peel it. But on Pesach, where machmer for mashu of chametz, it can be mixed in. So they peel all the vegetables. A lot of people have. They peel the vegetables. The other people, that's only if they do it on Pesach. But if they, let's say you make a zucchini kugel on Pesach, before Pesach, so before Pesach, a mashu is bottled anyways. So once you cook it in and you make a kugel, it's all bottled regardless. It's only what you do on Pesach that it's not bottled. A mashu chametz is not bottled. So the chametz on Pesach. But anything that was done that already became bottled before Pesach doesn't have the issue.
So purchasing it didn't make it bottled before Pesach. Like if you purchased the apple before Pesach, but you didn't eat it, then
why isn't it bottled already in the wax? Maybe it is. You have to know what it's made of. But it's just a chumrah. I'm saying it's a chumrah.
What does mashu mean?
Mashu means it's a small amount. It's a tiny something. So that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't see it, there's a halachic mashu that's like in the blias of your pot. It's considered a mashu. That if it's more than a mashu. Whatever in the pot, you cook it. It goes into your food. That becomes an issue on Pesach.
You have to kasher that pot if you want to use it on Pesach.
What?
If you're using the same pot, you have to kasher it.
Yeah, sure.
So after you put it in the fire, what's left? You do libun. Pots.
If you do libun, you don't do libun. You do hagala. So it becomes nice time of kam.
What's left?
Yeah. Well, there is something left. Yeah, it just becomes But kashering works. If you kasher it, you don't have a problem. Yeah. There's a shaila for b'negei gebrachs, right? People that eat gebrachs. So the Shulchan Aruch Rabbi said over last year, the Babbage has all that tightness because they don't eat gebrachs. But Shulchan Aruch Rabbi himself, he has the shaila was b'negei that maybe why do people machmer on gebrachs? Because maybe in the matzah there's a little bit that wasn't baked. It wasn't fully baked properly, and then you dip it into the water and it'll become chametz. So Shulchan says if they make matzah meal, if you buy matzah meal, that's already. So what's the worst? That there's a mashu of kemach in there that wasn't. There's flour in there that didn't become matzah. So could be that's considered min b'minay. In other words, it's flour with flour. Min b'she'ena mina you need one as long as it gives taste. But min b'minay even b'roiv. As long as you have 51%, you can have a mixture of flour, 51% matzah, 49% chametz. It's bottled. The rice is bottled before Pesach. So even if there's a flour in there that didn't become, it wasn't baked They make a matzah and they crush it up and they make matzah meal. So even if there's some flour in there that's not baked, but it's Mikra Adin, it's bottled before Pesach. If you made the matzah meal before Pesach, so it's bottled.
You made the matzah meal or made the matzah ball?
You eat kebrachsa, even those that don't eat kebrachsa, won't dip the matzah in water, but there's a makom to be matzah, the matzah meal. Good, they're machma on that also. But there's definitely a makom for it, because since it became bottled before Pesach, so even if you're worried about the mashu.
It's if you made the matzah balls before Pesach, or if you bought the matzah meal.
Or just the matzah meal itself, it's already bottled in the matzah meal. Yeah.
Because you purchased it before Pesach.
Yeah.
Right.
So are you saying that all these waxes that you're using for fruits and vegetables are all waxes that are made from non-kosher products?
I'm not saying that.
Oh.
Check it out.
Okay.
You have to check it out. No, there definitely there are.
There are.
Yeah, there definitely are those that are made from non-kosher products, 100%.
So you're getting an apple. You don't. How do you find out such a thing?
Okay, it's nice time of gam. It's mikra din. It's not us. That's why it's to wash it. If it comes off, you wash it. So that's the thing. Now getting back to what you were saying, because it's going a bit late. You started talking about what do you look for chametz? So this is all if it's mixed into your food. Now what happens if I go to my living room? What do I got to look for? Do I got to go and spring cleaning? Do I have to wash the carpets? Everything. So you shouldn't yell at your wife. It's a minhag. It's a minhag ligrak solim. Mechaber brings down the minhag was to they had their old stone walls to be goyret, to scrape it down. That was there used to be such a minhag. And Avada, the woman that put a lot of effort into this, to be Mekayim, to be harchik from chametz, as I say from Chavetz Chaim, but it happens in everybody's house. Chavetz Chaim saw his wife, rubbing the floor, and he says, "What are you doing? You just have to look for chazayis chametz over here." She says, "If we keep Pesach like you said, we'd be eating chametz on Pesach." The women are very machmer, but halacha l'maisa, when you're coming to clean yourself, so barring the kitchen, which we said we have to worry that shouldn't be a mashu chametz, but anything that's away from the food areas, so mikra adin. The only thing that you over by your Rabbi matzah is on a kazayis of chametz. Anything less than that is no din by your Rabbi matzah. Now the only thing is like this. We said there's a chashash, one or two things. If I find something, let's say find a candy or something which has chametz, which is a dova chashav b'fnei atzmai, even though it might not be a kazayis, so A, you might want to be makayim it, and B, it's a gluska nor, which is a lashon chazal, which means you might come to eat it. Or if you have children around, I know my kid, she sees any little piece of Cheerio on the floor, she'll eat it without a problem. It's a whole Cheerio. So something which has any chashivas to it, a person could come to eat, so that you have to look for. But anything which doesn't have, if it's pachas because it's machloikas and mishabrum mizan machloikas, and if it's less than a kazayis, it's machloikas bein apoiskim bazeh. If you actually find, let's go to the ultimate case, you found a piece of chametz on the living room floor on Pesach, or right before Pesach, pachas mikazayis, I'm mechuyev to be mavaret, do I have to burn it? It's less than a kazayis, it's a quarter of a piece of bread. What do I do with it? So there's machlokes between a poskim if there's a chiv beer on it b'chlal, pachas mikazayis. And the only time, and that machlokes is only when it's roy la'achila ksas. But something which a person wouldn't come to eat, there's no chiyuv. So in other words, if it's in a place where it's dirty, where nobody would eat it off the floor, it's in a place where it's a little dirty, for sure, under the refrigerator, you move away the refrigerator and you see who knows what's doing under there. But nobody's eating that. There's no kazayis, a piece of, if there's a kazayis, okay, so it's not nifsal mechilas kelev, then there's a yo'iv bal yirah. But if there's no kazayis there's less than a kazayis, nobody's eating from that. So there's no chiyuv beer. There's no chiyuv beer, pashtus, there's no chiyuv batika. So according to the Mishnah Berurah, if there's anything which is less than a kazayis, which is in a place where it's dirty enough where you're not going to eat from there, so no problem.
Like under a stove or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. So there's no chiyuv.
So you don't see it.
There's no bayou.
You don't even know it's there. You can't even see it.
No. The only time there's no bayou matzah, so if it's in a place where there's no, it's something which stays there all year and it's not moved. So a refrigerator, you're not going to move it a whole year. You don't move it a whole year, so in a chanami. There's no chiyuv to look under
On
there.
top of that, you remove fire. Whatever's in your house.
Yeah. You have no chiyuv.
It's not even yours.
Yeah, but if it's, let's say it's a refrigerator on wheels, which you'll clean the lady every week she comes, she moves it and cleans underneath it. So then, since it's moved often, so you have a chiyuv to look under there.
How do you reconcile Bal Yirad, Bal Yimatzeh, but you sold it, you were fired, you were vatul? It's not even yours. It's hefker kafra.
That's what I said. That's what I said in the beginning. Mikra once you do bittul midaraisi, you're not over. But if there's a piece of kazayas that if you find it on Pesach, you might come to eat it, or be machshav, hold of that kazayas, so then you'll come to be over. So therefore you have a chiyuv to get rid of it anyways. So that's what we're saying. But if it's a little dirty and it's less than a kazayas, well, you're not going to come to eat, so you have no chiyuv
Why are we
taka.
not worried to go into the supermarket on Pesach? It's full of
It's not my house.
I don't own it, but I might come to eat it.
The Chazal didn't make a problem. You go to your friend's house, you might eat. In your house, you have to make sure there's no chametz around. That's the chiyuv. The chiyuv beer chametz is to make sure there's no chametz in your house. You might not come to eat it. If you have a chiyuv, if you sell your chametz, you can't just leave it around the house. We're going to talk about this when we talk about mechiyas chametz. You can't just sell your chametz and leave it around the house. You have to put a mechitza asara in front of it to halachas, because you're not allowed to have chametz in your house, even if it's not yours, even if it's sold. Even if it's kafir da'ara, you can't have chametz in your house. If you're going to walk into your house, you might come to eat the chametz.
So then when you find under the refrigerator, even though you don't move the
Right,
refrigerator,
right.
it's still an issue. It's
Right.
in your house.
So I'm saying, if it's pachas b'kazayis,
If you never move it.
if you never move it, it's like
You're not
a
gonna see it
gal
anyway.
shel avonim. A gal shel avonim, if you never move, you don't have to dig under the floor of your house, under the floorboards to find stuff. But if it's someplace where it does get moved every week, the cleaning lady comes and moves it, so then you have a chiyuv to check there. And once you have a chiyuv to check there, if it's a kazayas, you got to get rid of it. If it's less than a kazayas and it's dirty, so then you don't have to get rid of it. Nobody's eating from it. So this is not for the ladies. So share. It's only for the men.
So what happens if this is
The
discovered?
ladies won't come back again.
What happens if a kazayas is discovered under the fridge during
If it's a
Pesach?
kazayas, you
During
should get rid
Pesach?
of it. If it's less than the kazayas,
But how would you
it's
get rid of
dirty.
it on Pesach? Flush it down the toilet?
Flush down the toilet.
But
You
it's
shouldn't touch
mutza.
it. You shouldn't touch the
It's a
bread on
mutza at that
Pesach.
point.
You shouldn't touch it.
You shouldn't touch it. You move it with something else.
But on,
So you
if it
shouldn't touch
actually
it. You
is
should get
on,
rid of it somewhere else. You can flush it down the
it's
toilet.
actually on Pesach itself. Do you not just cover it and
Yeah,
then?
that's because it has a shell of muksa. Yeah, you can't burn it.
So
You
Chol
can
Moed,
flush it
you
down. Maybe we'll talk about that. Yeah,
Flush down the toilet.
yeah.
on Chol Moed.
So that's with what you're looking for. So what you're looking for on before Pesach, what you're looking for, you're not looking for these little crumbs, unless it's in the kitchen, the dining room area, you want to make sure it's clean. But any other place, what you're really looking for, you're trying to get rid of, is products that have a kazayis chametz in it. Anything has a less or less teruvas chametz, which is not really lachil, you don't have to get rid of. The shampoos you don't have to get rid of. The minig Yisrael kadoshim heim, and we try not to
So
use.
oatmeal shampoo is not.
Yeah, so we try not to use it on Pesach because even though mikvah then technically it's mutter, so we'll get to it why. But we try to we don't use it. We don't use it. But mikvah adin, there's really nothing wrong with it. You don't even have to sell it. But the minhag is to put it away anyways. If you know for sure it's chametz, if you don't have to go looking through all your shampoos, all the ingredients. Wow, what's this? What's that? You don't have to bother with that because it's only shampoo anyways. But Moshe has a tshuva of sicha. Well, a sicha k'shtia, right? If you have sach on yourself, it's like shtia. So it's machlokes rishonim if that's only shemen or if it's anything. So it's again for certain medicines which are made out of chametz if you could put on you. So Moshe has a tshuva that even though it's machlokes rishonim if it's only for oil, and even for the other rishonim hold it's only for something which you get a tainug of. Because the shampoo you get a tainug of. But medicines you don't get a tainug of, there's no sicha gashtia. But that's only if it's still epis. But if it's nifsam achilas kelev, even a kelev won't eat it. So it doesn't have a teres chametz at all. You could even eat it on Pesach. So there's really no issues with that, except that again. So we're machmir, we try to stay away from chametz. So if you know
don't sell it, but you can put
if
it
it's
away.
wheat shampoo, so you put it away under the sink and you close it up for Pesach, and you don't use it, even though Meker Adin, it may not be a problem.
But you're not selling it. Sorry, you're just putting it away.
You're selling it anyway, so you put
So
it
Bal Yirad, Bal
something else.
Yimatzeh does not apply to Taruvas chametz in these products like cosmetics, which aren't roilach.
It's not royal achilas kelev is nothing. The rule of thumb is like this: something which was once roy fachila, the only way to make it mutter is if it becomes not roy even for consumption of a dog. So anything, a lot of the products are taken from things which were already chametz and alcohol you can eat. A lot of alcohol products. So it was made for something which was roy lachila, even though now it's become something which is not roy for achila, so it has to be to the degree that even a dog won't eat it. But something which never became roy lachila to begin with, it was never fit to eat when it became chametz, so that doesn't need such a degree of ein roy lachila. But so the medicines, a lot of the medicines that are made are not roy for achilas kelef, so therefore there's no issues taking them. Although medicines that are made on Pesach could be a problem, because if they're made on Pesach, again they start off being roy lachila, and then even if you mix it, when you make your tablet or whatever you make out of it, now it's not roy lachila, but that happened on Pesach, that we stay away from. So it's better to get medicine that was made before Pesach, so it doesn't have the issue.
And the issue of hana from these things?
So again, if it's not roy lachilas kelef, there's no issue of
deodorants,
so then you
things
can.
like that, has no application. It's not roy lachilas.
Can't
It's not roy
eat that.
lachilas kelef, yeah. Deodorants are generally not an issue. Again, there are a list of products, what has chametz, what doesn't have chametz on it. Again, you have to know what's roy lachila, what's not roy lachila, and then people stay away from it. Even though mikra adin, most of these kind of things, soaps and all these for sure, they don't have an issue,
But things like lipstick and lip balm and stuff like that.
That could be, you could eat, so
could be a problem.
that you have to be more machem on. Okay, we'll have to continue a different week. Next week.
Sure.